The Detroit Pistons are once again in a streak of poor performances, having lost 4 consecutive games, leaving them anchored at the bottom of the standings. Currently, they have only managed 8 wins in 55 games, a record that will be remembered for a long time. They have not fared any better at home court, with only 4 wins in 26 games. The Detroit Pistons are having a catastrophic season. While they aim to rejuvenate the team, they surely did not expect such poor results. The team is playing without confidence, enduring a long streak of losses, and it's difficult to anticipate any significant changes before the end of the season. Cade Cunningham leads the team in scoring and assists, averaging 2.1 points and 7.5 assists per game. However, even that isn't enough as he lacks significant support from his teammates. In the recent trade deadline, Detroit Pistons sent Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks to the New York Knicks and acquired Malachi Flynn, Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier, and 2 second-round picks that belong to the Knicks. Simone Fontecchio also joined the team. Jalen Duren has been in good form lately, as is Jaden Ivey, averaging 15.2 points per game. They've signed several players from the G League, but to improve their season, they need to elevate their defensive game. The Detroit Pistons need to regain their confidence and belief that they can achieve victory. Lately, they've been poor defensively, so they need to perform much better in that aspect if they want to surprise the Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic have won their last 2 games and have only 1 loss in their last 5 games. They currently have a record of 31 wins and 25 losses. While they haven't been outstanding on the road, with only 13 wins in 30 games, their recent performances have been encouraging. The Orlando Magic can boast significant teamwork in their recent games. They've had several games with 6 players scoring in double digits. The resurgence of the Wagner brothers Moritz and Franz, who complement each other well on offense, has been crucial. They've certainly aided the outstanding Paolo Banchero, who's having a great season, playing efficiently on offense with excellent shooting percentages. When Joe Ingles joins these players in their performance, the Orlando Magic can surprise almost any opponent. What's also encouraging is their improving defense and the significant contributions from bench players in almost every game. In their recent games, the team has played very cohesively, a strategy they can employ in this away game to secure a significant victory. However, they must not underestimate their opponent, as despite their poor results, Detroit Pistons is a team that can deliver quality performances at home. Orlando Magic have won their last 2 matchups against the Detroit Pistons. In their last 5 games, Orlando leads 4-1, winning the last encounter 111-99. Absences and injuries. Isaiah Stewart of the Detroit Pistons has been suspended for 3 games for hitting an opponent, while Quentin Grimes is questionable for the game. Orlando Magic is expected to have a full squad available. Orlando Magic are in much better form than their opponents, although they haven't been outstanding on the road. However, their teamwork, rebounding control, and multiple players in good form are reasons why we expect them to secure an important victory in this game. They can respond to their opponent's game and will have a significant advantage as they are much more consistent in their shooting. Our prediction is Orlando Magic minus 6.5. The New York Knicks managed to break a 4-game losing streak with a win against the Philadelphia 76ers in their last game. Currently, they are in 4th place in the Eastern Conference with a record of 34 wins and 22 losses. It's been a very good season for the New York Knicks, despite a slight dip in form lately. Credit should primarily go to the front office, which has done an excellent job throughout the season. The acquisition of OG Anunoby has proven to be a fantastic move as the team has gained aggressiveness on the defensive end. Additionally, the NBA trade deadline saw the arrival of Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks, who should improve the team's 3-point shooting, which has been a problem for the Knicks for most of the season. The injury to Julius Randle has certainly been a setback, but Jalen Brunson has been playing very well this season. It's clear that the New York Knicks cannot afford to keep losing games, especially at this point in the season. To achieve a different outcome, they'll need to improve their shooting percentages on offense, which have been inconsistent lately, and maintain maximum concentration. The Boston Celtics are in good form, winning all 7 of their previous games. In their last game, they defeated the Chicago Bulls with a score of 129, double 1-2. They currently hold the top spot in the Eastern Conference with a record of 44 wins and 12 losses. It's been a perfect season so far from the perspective of the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum has finally emerged as a true leader, and the front office has made efforts to surround him with quality players. The outstanding Jason Tatum is averaging 28 points and nearly 9 rebounds per game this season. Alongside him for years has been Jaylen Brown, who is also having a more than solid season with an average of 23 points. Speaking of reinforcements, Kristaps Porzingis stands out, having established himself as a key player in the paint alongside Al Horford. Additionally, the Boston Celtics boast an extremely strong bench led by Derek White and Peyton Pritchard. The key for the Boston Celtics in this matchup will be to play disciplined defense and not allow the New York Knicks to dictate the tempo. They will surely face a motivated opponent, so it's crucial that their shooting percentages remain high. This will be the fourth meeting of the season, and the Boston Celtics have been victorious in the first three matchups. In the last game, they won with a score of 133-123, with Jason Tatum scoring 35 points. Absences and injuries. OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson are out for the New York Knicks, while Julius Randle is questionable. Al Horford, Kristaps Porzingis, Jaden Springer, and Xavier Tillman are questionable for the Boston Celtics. Both teams have been paying more attention to defense lately, which should be a trademark as the playoffs approach. Considering the significant number of injured players, it is very likely that we will see some rest for individuals, which would certainly result in a slower pace. Therefore, our suggestion is for the total points to be under 223 points. Our prediction is under 222.5 points. In the previous game, the Minnesota Timberwolves lost to the Milwaukee Bucks by 112-107 in a match in which Anthony Edwards with 28 and Karl Anthony Towns with 22 points stood out the most. They are now the second team in the Western Conference with a record of 3-9-1-7. The Minnesota Timberwolves are playing superbly this season, given that they are well filled at every position. Starting with guards like Anthony Edwards, who after a great FIBA World Cup transferred his form to the NBA and is one of the best in his position in the league. The frontcourt tandem of Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert is also dominant, which speaks volumes about how much quality this team has, both defensively and offensively. In the next meeting, they will try to make a difference right through the frontcourt, since there is no one in the Brooklyn Nets who could match the rival in that position. If the Minnesota Timberwolves take advantage of that, they will be closer to win. In the previous game, the Brooklyn Nets lost to the Toronto Raptors by 121-93 in a clash in which Mikal Bridges and Cameron Thomas gave 21 and 19 points. This team is currently ranked 11th in the Eastern Conference with a record of 21-34. The Brooklyn Nets are playing with a lot of ups and downs, but all that is in line with expectations, considering that a period has come for them in which they will have to turn to rebuilding and look for new stars. Mikal Bridges and Cam Thomas are the biggest strengths of this team, which will have to rely on some others in the rest of the season. They tried that by pairing Spencer Dinwiddie with Dennis Schroeder, and the question will be how much of a quality move it will be. The Brooklyn Nets do not have a front court that can defend the Minnesota Timberwolves, but they would have to weigh his performance, and with such a defensive approach they can hope to at least slightly disturb the favorite in this meeting, which is growing into a serious team. They played once this season and the Minnesota Timberwolves won 96-94. Absences and injuries, Jalen Clark will not play for the home team, and Rudy Gobert is questionable, while for the guests, Jalen Martin is questionable and Dariq Whitehead is out of the team. The Minnesota Timberwolves are one of the best teams in the league, both defensively and offensively. That diversity is the biggest strength of this team, which is having a great season and seems ready to make a breakthrough in the playoffs. Therefore, we believe that the Brooklyn Nets will not be too much of an obstacle and that the home team will win by a margin higher than the offered spread. Our prediction is Minnesota Timberwolves -5.5.